Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. Today we're at Watkins Glen International preparing for the Cheez-Its 355 at the Glen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the chase is the last thing on my mind. It's, the string of the last 6 or 7 weeks has been really tough. Just stuff that I guess you can say out of our control, in our control, running better, maybe get yourself out of some bad situations. Sonoma, we had a chance to win and had a mistake there. So it's been a rough kind of month and a half, almost 2 months here. And, we just trying to go out there and each week just minimize our mistakes and get better. Obviously, if you win the race, any of the races, what's at stake, making the chase. But that's the last thing on my mind is the mentality of having to win to make the chase. We just got to run better, minimize our mistakes, and each weekend try to get better. And if we get in a position to win a race, then that's great. If not, we got to be a little bit better all around as a team. I think it's tough in this sport because you look at the last 2 years. And you look at this year, I think as a race team, we're so much better than we were, but it's tough. You look at the points, and we're in the same spot. So, I think there's a lot of good things happening on a race team, but we got to get back on track.
Okay, now coming to Watkins Glen, a track you've had success at and spent the morning out there on the new pavement, the new surface. What's your initial assessment of this new track surface?
It's for sure smooth. It's tough to tell right now. The tire that's with this pavement feels really hard. It feels really slick. You're sliding around trying to get an understanding of what it's going to take and how much grip is actually going to be available on the racetrack. Obviously, it rained really hard last night, so for a repave, that's a big deal, washing all the rubber off the racetrack. And these repaves, they got a lot of grip in them, but when they're completely green and not a lot of rubber on it, it takes a while to get the grip back on the racetrack. So right now it's really slick. It's hard to kind of figure out the setup. Hadn't been a lot of fun to begin with. We've had to change a lot from the last 2 years have been where we have been. So, but I think it'll change a lot over the next day and a half as we put a lot more rubber down.
Great, thank you. We'll open up to questions from the media. Please raise your hand. Start with your name and affiliation for AJ, and we'll start here with Zach. Wireless mic's coming, sorry.
Zach Albert, NASCAR.com. You talked about controlling your own destiny or controlling your fate. Do you feel like this is a place where you can kind of do that a little bit better than others, or does the performance on oval tracks have to improve as well, just overall?
No, I mean, in performance everywhere, it's just got to improve. It's no secret. I love this racetrack. I love road course racing. It's my background, but it's no different mentality than going to Pocono this weekend, going to Bristol after that, going to Michigan. We just got to be better, and that's, as a team, all of us together. Randall Burnett, our crew chief, new crew chief this year, we are learning each other. It's good and bad. We got probably the same personality, so our highs are probably a little too high. Our lows are definitely way too low. So we just got to be better. And, this is a place here in Sonoma, just road course racing in general. I think a driver can make more of a difference, but you still got to have the right package. And in 2014, I thought we had, one of the 2 best cars between myself, Marcus, probably 3 best cars with Jeff, and so it still takes a great race car as well. So, that's why I say that the chase, I know that's the big thing in NASCAR to talk about making the chase, but it's not even on my mind. We gotta go put ourselves in position to run better. And if we do that, the way these races play out, you always have a shot to win.
And do you have any lingering ill effects from your thumb from the crash at Kentucky a couple weeks back, or is that pretty much?
No, I feel like I've just been gut punched and kicked in the not such fun place the last 7 weeks, so that's more the lingering effect.
Now, what part of the course has been most affected by the repave?
I would say the bus stop, just because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the curbs are the same size, but the track's just a little bit lower. Getting through there, so at least using the curbs through there is real challenging. You used to be able to kind of just drive over the top of them, and you can still hit them, but it definitely upsets the car a lot more. everywhere else, it's kind of the same thing. The exodus of the corners, to me, have a lot of grip, but this tire combo, and it's not really, I don't think it's really the racetrack. This rubber comes in, that'll help, but the tire combo, you're really on edge getting into the corners. It feels really stiff, and there's not a lot of grip in it right now. So all the entries to the corners are a little bit kind of hold your breath and just kind of get to the middle of the corner. Once you get to that and the car settles down, the exit corners are all right.
For more information on the Cheez-Its 355 at the Glen, log on to theglen.com.
You're watching the Race Report on Fox 40.
"30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network? Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
98.1 The Hawk, number 1 for 20 in a row.
This is Jason Aldean.
Hot new country.
This is Luke Brown. And kiss tomorrow goodbye.
This is Charles, Dave,
and Hillary.
And we are
Lady Annabella. And I don't know why you don't take me downtown anymore.
Binghamton's Hot New Country.
This is Carrie Underwood. Every tear soaked whiskey memory blown away.
Binghamton's Hot New Country. 98.1 The Hawk.
Welcome back to the Race Report. Peter Argetsinger is designing the road course for the new CNY Raceway Park. Argetsinger has been an instructor at Brands Hatch, England.
And I'll turn it over to Peter on what we're doing with the road course. And believe me, I enjoy myself every time I go out there and see exactly where Peter laid this out and how we've got the retention ponds and everything else that's designed around this, and the bridge going over, the tunnel going through. It's going to be simply amazing that when this is done. Go ahead, Peter, I'll let you.
Thanks. I think the retention ponds, you were trying to recreate Monaco North, but unfortunately we had an overview of the track up, and I guess the audio-visual part went away. The road course goes around, so the oval, all the courses that Glenn has just been describing are in the center of the property, including the macadam part and the synthetic dirt track and all the grandstands. And then on the perimeter of the property is the road course, which will be 2.2 miles. It's designed to be challenging, but it's designed so that any group can race on it. So we're planning for clubs like the SCCA, the Porsche Club that want to run races, can have race events, but also there's a big market for clubs like Porsche Club and BMW Club that want to do events, what they call track days, driver education days, and that's going to be a big part of our rental for that circuit. I've been in the business now since 1974, I guess that's 42 years. I've been racing all of that time. I'm still racing. I won 5 races last year. But my biggest part of what I do is driver coaching. I also have worked for the manufacturers. I worked for BMW Motorsports out of Munich on a global race series called Formula BMW. There was a European series, an Asian series, And the American Series supported the Canadian Grand Prix, the U.S. Grand Prix, which was then at Indianapolis, and the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And a lot of those kids you will have heard of, people like Montoya that I coached. Actually, he was part of the Barber Dodge program that I worked on. Ryan Hunter-Ray, a kid named Rossi who just won the Indy 500. They were all about 15 years old. So I've been working in the industry at tracks doing lots of different programs, not just racing events, but driver education events, car manufacturer events. And the facility needs to be, the road course part needs to be able to accommodate the different needs of the different people that would come and rent the facility from us. The biggest thing with a road course is, and the old road courses have this. Watkins Glen has it. Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin has it. Some of the newer road courses that have been built don't have it. They don't really think of it in terms of racing. So to have a good racing circuit, you need to have straights that are long enough so that when a driver comes off a turn and they're gaining speed on a competitor, the straight is long enough for them to actually gain ground on the other driver, get alongside, at least in time for the next break zone, to facilitate a pass. So some of the new courses, which were built really as club courses, Monticello, I like Monticello, but the problem with a track like that, for example, very difficult to race on, very difficult to pass on. Wasn't really set up to accommodate a pit area, to accommodate the teams, and that was fine. Their goal was just to have a club track, just to have for club members to come out and drive. But we really want our track to be a track that people can race on, and the clubs can come and run on and enjoy as well. So that's really where my area of expertise is on the road course. But I did grow up around racing. I was here. My father, as some of you know, founded Watkins Glen, or started the races here in 1948. He had a dream to go road racing. There wasn't any road racing in this country at that time, so he mapped out the original 6.6 mile road circuit at Watkins Glen, sold the idea to the local Chamber of Commerce, and the community got behind him, and then they built the permanent circuit, and his goal was to always have a Grand Prix, and they did. In 1961, the U.S. Grand Prix was held here at Watkins Glen, and very successful. So I grew up around that part of the sport as well, and that's really, the great thing about working with Glenn is he understands the sport from so many different aspects, but it's so important to know how to promote and organize events to make a track successful. So our goal is to make the road course a fun, safe, challenging track that people can race on and enjoy. But that's a little bit of oversight on the road course, and I'll let John talk more about some of the other aspects.
Yep, I'm John Lehman. I'm the Vice President of Central New York Raceway Park. My background is mostly special events. I've been in the special event business my entire life. I've operated many special events from the Coors Light Water Ski Tour nationwide. I ran all the food and beverage for the 1981 Formula One Grand Prix at Long Beach, at the Long Beach Convention Center. And I was operations manager of Louisiana Superdome. I've been involved in many things. So when Glenn came to me 5 years ago and said, John, help me design a facility that we can do all these events in, we started designing a facility that would have everything that was needed from the garages. We took the garages one step further than most tracks have. We made sure we put an air-conditioned meeting room in it. We made sure we had food in it for the drivers. We made sure we had showers in it. We made sure we had viewing points on the roof and above it so that the spotters could watch the track. We made sure that every little T was crossed, every I was dotted. We designed a facility that would have a restaurant that would overlook the track. We would have banquet rooms because we knew that all the clubs that would come in would have their awards banquets. We knew that we wanted to provide a daily a daily operation. In our garage, for example, in the wintertime, you'll be able to go in there and put a trade show on. Our garage will hold 110 10 by 10 trade show exhibit booths. So we'll be able to do trade shows, we'll be able to do car shows. We're gonna be able to offer things that no one else can offer. You know, Watkins Glen, for example, is a wonderful track, but they don't have a restaurant. They don't have some of the things that we're gonna have. We don't have the history that they have, but we're gonna have a beautiful facility that's gonna have great venue with things that you'll be able to see at all times. And the other thing that we're gonna have that is unique, we're gonna light our road course. So when you go out there at any time, you're gonna be able to see anything going on. You'll be able to see club racing during the day. At nighttime, we're gonna have our drivers club and they'll be able to go out on a lighted road course. Plus we're gonna have the dirt races. It's gonna be a fabulous facility.
I just wonder if you could tell us a little more about the layout of the road course. I mean, is there going to be a lot of elevation and you know, what's the basic feel? I mean, you mentioned Monaco a little bit, but can you elaborate a little bit more?
Sure. It won't be at all like Monaco. I was being facetious. The only thing close to Monaco is we do have some lakes. There's a track in England. I lived and raced in Europe for 14 years. There's a track called Mallory Park, and it goes around a lake. So maybe closer to Mallory Park than Monaco. But yeah, the bottom part of the track, turn one, the front straight by the pits, is you're coming down a hill off the final turn, so it's a downhill section, and then the actual braking zone will be on the level, and then up to turn 2 and 3, that's all pretty flat area. Then we're going to have a banked carousel that goes around one of these, you know, retention ponds. I guess
Actually, 3 of them. Yeah.
There's 3 of them, but there'll be a giant carousel corner, similar if you've been to Road America, or if you had ever been to Mallory Park in England. There's a big carousel there, a long turn. It'll be slightly banked, so it'll be like a NASCAR 2 or a NASCAR 4 kind of corner. You know, about that long, quite a long corner. It will be slightly banked to accommodate higher speeds. You come out of that, there's a kink to the right down the back straight, and that's where the elevation. So the northern end of the property, which is up towards where the rest stop on Route 81 is. So up at that end, if you can. Unfortunately, we don't have we have a beautiful overview, but anyway. So up at that end, there's an uphill, very fast turn, kind of similar to West Bend at Lime Rock Park, if you know that corner. But then it comes up to another area where we have quite a bit of elevation, and there's going to be a series of S's. They're not really like the S's at Watkins Glen. They're more similar to the S's at VIR, if you know Virginia International Raceway, which is actually an old circuit. It was built also in the 50s, you know, like the road course here. The permanent road course here was, you know, in the mid-50s, and that's VIR was built then, and then it went bankrupt, and it only got rebuilt as a club facility the last 15 years. But so there'll be a series of S-bends that will use the elevation up over the hill, and you begin the long downhill straight, really the longest straight on the track. So that's. I wish I had the map to show you the picture, but that's pretty. But there will be elevation on the northern end of the track.
Stay tuned, more still ahead on this edition of The Race Report.
For 3 generations, we've been building world-class American performance.
Like the new Edelbrock Power Package Top-End Kit, based on Edelbrock's powerful RPM crate engines. Each kit includes aluminum heads and intake, cam and lifters, gaskets, and hardware to build your own 400-plus horsepower Chevy small block. For 3 generations, it's pure American performance from the leader. Call now for your free Edelbrock catalog.
Edelbrock makes them right here in the USA.
30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Time now to head to Thunder Mountain Speedway and some racing action. First to the Four Cylinders. On the microphone is Leon Andrus.
So the green is out. Beach right there with the 6. Jenkins up on the outside with the 40, hang on, the 31J, leading lap number 1. Beach is up on the outside. The 8 right back there, 3rd. But Jenkins still leads the way. Down the backstretch for the final time, out of 4. The win again gonna go to Rich Gardner. Nick Kennedy, Gabe Forward, Frankie Kennedy, Fudd, Beach, Lacey.
Danny Creedon's been on a roll, his 5th win of the season in modified action. Leon Andrus makes the call.
Here they come. Green is up. Ham on the outside, Brokaw down low. Barry White way up on the top side of the speedway with the 131. Nick Nye down low, Billy Spoonhour. All get around lap number 1. Bobby Ham showing the way. 3 wide over here in turn number 3. Alan Barker to the inside of Brian Malcolm. Bobby Ham continues to set the pace. Brokaw right there, 2nd. Barry White, 3rd. Up on the outside, there's Billy Spoonhour putting the hammer down. Trying to close in on Barry White. Danny Creedon trying to squeeze through Brian Malcolm and Chad Cook. Arnie Slade down on the inside. Bobby Ham looking to go to the inside of the 316. Randy Brokaw still 2nd. Barry White 3rd. Billy Spoonhour 4th. Ryan Jordan is 5th. Alan Barker 6th. Ham is on the accelerator. Look at Ryan. Hang on, Brent Wilcox out of shape. Bobby Ham still your leader. Ryan Jordan now taking over 3rd. Barry White back there 4th. Alan Barker on the inside 5th. Then we got him 3 wide there. Nick Nye, Butch Green, Dan Creedon. But Bobby Ham looking for his 2nd win of the season. Trying to run away and hide. Alan Barker, the high side hustler now. Going up to the top to work around the 131 of Barry White. Look at the 316. Right in the middle of the groove. Halfway. 15 in, 15 to go. Ryan Jordan out to the inside of Randy Brokaw. And here comes Alan Barker, the B16 machine. Trying to work around Ryan Jordan, Dan Creedon right there, Randy Brokaw. Hang on, Nick Beatty. Bobby Ham still your leader, but Creedon got a beat on him down the backstretch, down into turn number 3. Out of 4 they come. At the stripe, Creedon your new leader. Alan Barker trying to close back in on Bobby Ham. Jeff Shealy there in front of him. Here comes Barker now to the inside of Ham. Those two gonna battle it out. Creedon trying to open up some racing room. Jeff Shealy, where's he gonna be when the cars get there? Down the back stretch for the final time, the 30-lap modified feature. Once again, gonna go to the DC Express, Danny Creedon. Bobby Haim at the line, Alan Barker for 3. Ryan Jordan for 4, Randy Brokaw for 5, Barry White for 6. Brian Malcolm, Butch Green, Jeremy Smith, Colton Wilson, Brent Wilcox.
And that's all we have time for on this edition of the Race Report. A reminder, join us Monday night at Brothers 2 in Endwell for racing trivia at 7:30. So for the entire staff of the Race Report, thanks for watching. Till next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.
Green is out. Hang on, where goes a flipper ski? All you need is to touch the wheels on these cars and they go. Red will be coming out. Red on the speedway. Red, and they'll stop eventually. Green is out, hammers down. We're racing the 410 of Jerry Sen. He jumped a couple times there, already lost 3 spots. 85, your early leader, Clint Roars. Last night's winner, John Moore, looking to do it back-to-back nights here. One at I-88 looking to double up here at the sister track, Thunder Mountain Speedway on the outside. 72 of Josh Chestnow in the 72 takes over 3rd. Moore starting to crank it up. Moore, Roars, and Josh Chess running 3rd. 4th belongs to Jerry Sen. Then it's Don Bellin in the 7, the 77K of Kathy Bellin. 87 of Nick Denise. In the 42 of Jesse Bruchik. Just about a straightaway lead here for John Moore in the 18 car. Second on the grid is the 85 of Clint Roars. Then it's the 72. Picking up the win, John Moore. Roars getting 2nd. 72 is 3rd. That's Josh Chess. So there you have your top 3.